Hey everybody, Steve here. Just going through a vlog of what day one at the World Series of Poker looks like. I'm not a professional vlogger, so do not expect perfection here. But if you happen to see somebody in the background, if I see somebody, I'll kind of turn around and film that's famous. Put that in the comments if you happen to see somebody. But I'm at day one. It's July 3rd, so I'm day one. There's 4 day ones. I'm outside the old Bally's, which is now the Horseshoe. They rebranded to the Horseshoe because they moved the World Series of Poker here from over at the Rio, which was a long time ago. And of course, the main event is kind of the highlight of the entire World Series, and that's what I'll be playing in today. We'll talk about how I got here, talk about some of the rules, talk about how you play in some of these things, but kind of want to show you also the insanity of the crowd here as well. So walking in now. So yeah, how'd I get here? Well, it's a $10,000 buy-in, and for those that have known me a long time, I'm not just going to spend $10,000 on something like that. However, went into a league, if you will. It's not really a competition, so it is a competition, but really we had 15 of us where you put some money each month into a prize pool, and at the end of it, basically you compete throughout the year. You play about one tournament a month, and out of that, you get points if you finish in the top 4. There's a regular season winner, which is the person who accumulates the most points from the finishes in these tournaments during the regular season. That happened to be me. So then I get 1 seat to the World Series of Poker, and the other person, then the remaining 14. So I'm out because I already have my seat, right? And then the other 14 basically compete for the other spot in a 1-day tournament. A little bit longer, a little bit deeper stack sort of thing. And if you know Joel Hansen, another advisor at Ankerstar Wealth, again, long-term friend of mine, he won the other seat. So it's kind of cool. We're both playing. And of course, we dream about an all Ankerstar Wealth, final table, but that's a little bit of a pipe dream. But speaking of, yes, got some new swag, Ankerstar Wealth shirt. Got the hat, got a cool new backpack. We'll talk about the backpack here in a minute and why I would have a Yeti backpack. But so yeah, that's make sure I know where I'm going here. That's how we got here. And what's nice, and I call it a league because we're actually playing for all of the players, right? So if I would win anything, so it's going to take through day 4 to be able to get to the money. Again, it starts today on July 3rd, and you play all the way to July 17th is when the winner is. So it could be a 2-week tournament. Obviously, it's a little bit of a pipe dream to think that I would be there for all of it, but you never know, hey, right? But if I win any money, I get half of it for me, and then the other half gets split amongst the other 14 players. Same thing if Joel goes the distance and win some money. Top prize is $10 million, so it's not a small prize. Then we would get. I have 1/14 of the other half of his, right? So that's how it works. It'd be nice if we both finish in the money, make some money for ourselves, as well as the folks that are in the league. I think they would appreciate that, right? So that's how it works. It truly is the World Series. It's kind of like in baseball, you have the World Series. It's not really worldly, right? Because it's all American / North American teams. The World Series of Poker, people come from all over the world. At the final table last year, there's only, I think, 3 Americans. So not only to take this thing down, not only do you have to beat, the best professional poker players in the U.S., you have to beat the professional poker players in the whole world, which is a little bit of a feat, right? So, how do you win? Well, you got to stay alive. If anybody's played a poker tournament, staying alive is kind of the biggest issue there. So we're coming up on starting to get into World Series land. If you know where the walkway between Horseshoe and Paris is, that's where I am right now. So she'll turn around and show you the walkway here. So there's the big entrance, World Series right there. That's what we're going to walk through. We're going to kind of see how bad the line is. I was talking to Joel last night. I came in yesterday. I'll show you how to, got my ticket and all that. But last night he said he was going to come in at like 2 a.m. because otherwise his lines are too long. I don't see a huge line today, but we'll see. As far as how many people play in the main event, Well, it's a $10,000 buy-in, like I already mentioned. And last year they had 8,600 people. A lot. And you play, it's a freeze out, so you don't get to rebuy. And you literally play down to one winner. Kind of crazy, right? So when you get here, you got to get registered. So obviously with $10,000, I'm not going to carry that kind of cash around. So I registered online. You have, registration's not bad at all. So kind of in there behind me, I won't get too close because they frown upon that. But through those doors, you can kind of see they have cashier's cages. That's where people are walking in with their 10 grand in their pocket and going, here you go. I'd like one entry, please. And when you get your entry, if you bought online and used a credit card, you have to verify with that exact credit card. So that's an amateur move on some people's part if they screw that up or leave that credit card at home. And then once you have it, you get one of these snazzy tickets, right? So see if we can see that. Might be backwards. Again, I'm an amateur, so it probably is backwards. Oh, no, got the important part covered there. Anyhow, you can see normally it's a 200 and can't even tell reading backwards here, so I'll do it this way. A $298 fee, of which I got a $295 break on the fee because I wired it in. So it cost me about $3,000 to do that. So when you get here, you have to verify who you are, and then once you do go through the verification, you get what's called your seat. And this is the seat number receipt. So you give this to the dealer. It's called the dealer copy. Again, this is backwards, so I won't try to read it, but it's seat 2629. And then you go find your chair. So that's what's going on here. You make sure you don't lose that, right? So I've got that in my back pocket. I do think it's basically, after you've verified, it's kind of up to you to not be foolish, right? So, and then there's two different play locations. We are at the Horseshoe, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Pros would know this. I do not. But here is basically a live tourney going on. That's not the main event, obviously, since they're in the middle of going. You can see back there, there's a main table slash, place where they have the camera for it to be televised later on. There's another tournament going over there. It looks like that one's kind of finishing up. Not much crowd. It's kind of early in the day. It is, what time is it? 11:10 in the morning. So that is where we are. Here's the verification line. So back in here. So we got a few people in it, sort of thing. And once you verified, then you come up to one of these kiosks, and that's where you swipe your card. One of these guys, and that's when you get your assignment. So you're assigned a building, and then a table number, and then a seat number, right? So we're going to go there now, and we're going to get set up, and then I'm going to pretty much pause, and then for the rest of the day, I'm going to hop on and give updates at each break, which could be kind of boring, right? So if it's boring, it'll be a quick update. I will talk about a few hands if I had any hands of interest. Here is one of the big places you take pictures. It's in front of that big World Series of Poker.com. So I have some cheesy selfie. There you go. This guy's in action right there, getting the pictures taken. So plenty of hype for the World Series. The World Series itself started back in, I think it was the last day of May, or somewhere in May. The whole World Series goes on for like 6 weeks. The main event is event number 76, I believe. So, like I said, bracelets going out almost every day, sometimes multiple bracelets a day, that sort of thing. And here is the retail shop in the background, so you can see swag galore of whatever you would like there, sort of thing. So, so it goes on. So like last night, so Phil Hellmuth, you may have heard that name, and Phil Ivey were duking it out at a final table. And Phil Hellmuth actually knocked Ivey out, and they ended up, Hellmuth ended up winning his 17th bracelet, so he's the all-time bracelet record holder. I stopped by for like 5 seconds, well before they ended. I just wanted to see them both. It's kind of cool. See them at the same table. And so, knocked out Phil Ivey. Phil Ivey got like 100,000 or something, and Phil Hellmuth won it all. He got like 800,000, something like that. So, and you get the bracelet. And honestly, for the pros, kind of like my situation where I didn't really pay $10,000 to get in. I paid a smaller amount, and I competed for the spot. Well, pros do what's called staking, right? So a lot of times, instead of them paying $10,000 to get in, you end up paying less, like they might pay $1,000 and then stake the other 90%, where other people buy in with them. It's very common. There's an IRS tax form to handle it. So like if Joel or I would win, we simply fill out a tax form, and it allocates the appropriate portion to me, and then the appropriate portion to the other 14 people, so they can pay taxes. If you win, there's no hurry to collect, right? If you won, you won. So it's not like you really have to worry about being mugged walking out of the casino, because you don't have like 5-10 million cash on your hands. So what we're doing now is walking back we're back in the horseshoe, walking up some steps. So you may recognize some of these places as I walk through here, but it's basically back to the conference center in the horseshoe. So now once we get back there, we're going to go in and find our table. So other people have asked, hey, I want to watch. Well, I'm honored, right, for people that have asked. That's very nice. If you've watched any amount of poker, unless you're really into poker, it's really boring. And sometimes if you are really into poker, it's really boring until the end, right? Where you're playing, for $100,000 difference, something like that. So I wouldn't be like, super up for watching, but you can follow along online. Day one, I don't think they're doing chip counts because there's just too many people. Again, they're expecting 10,000. They do have nice little areas, like if you're working. Today's Monday. Market's already closed, by the way, since it's a short day. But obviously, if I stay in this thing, which is the goal, I'm going to have to break away and actually get some work done. So that's a nice little office have set up there. It's kind of quiet, except for guys like me walking around doing a vlog. There are other people doing the same thing, so don't recognize those guys offhand. But, looks legit. All right, so watching. So this used to be carried by ESPN, right? And they got pretty good coverage. It started with like Chris Moneymaker. I want to say that was like 2003. Got some pretty good, pretty good coverage there initially, sort of thing. So then what it sounds like 2021, ESPN sold it to CBS Sports, who carried it for a year, and then they dropped it. So right now, if I have my story correct, pokergo.com is about the only place you can watch it. That's obviously a website. They also have a YouTube channel, Twitch, all that. So from there, you have to pay like, I don't know, $5 or something to log in to be able to watch. They do have live coverage. Live coverage is actually like a 40-minute delay. So, it's not live, right? Because then somebody could be watching at home and kind of fill you in on how things are going. But you do have a feature table, so we're going to walk up and take a look at they have the main event area closed. We'll see if I can get in there. This is not the main event here, but we'll take a look at this, and then security guards. Okay, maybe that's because I have to show my ticket to get in, so we shall see. So there is a tournament going on back there that you can see. So we'll probably just finish this video up and see what I have to do to get through the security guards. I don't see anybody going in there. Here's what I'm talking about. Looks a little bit ominous, right? So, and it's still, I check my watch. Ooh, there's the door. 11:15. Oh, there's somebody coming out. So should probably be able to get into the main event here. We'll walk over and see in a second. But to finish my thought, what was I talking about? See, we talked about staking, pros and celebrities playing the main event. Like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon play every year. 10 grand's obviously nothing for them to spend. A lot of amateurs come in like I did, where you didn't pay the full 10 grand. You end up, beating a field or nominating by your league, kind of like I was, sort of thing. So everybody gets here. And, last year, 86-33, they're hoping for 10,000 players. This year, you play in 4 heats, which means that you up to like 3,000 people a day can play in one tournament. So this is the third. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th is day 1. And then the 7th and 8th is day 2, like heats and track, if you will. And then, so for me, day 2 is July 7th. And then the third day for me is July 9th. And from July 9th on, that's when everybody plays in one big tournament. Everybody seated at the same time. You play down to a winner, but again, it takes from the 9th all the way through the 17th to get down to the final table, which is 9, and then down to the final 4, and then from that. I'd have to imagine at least the final table is picked up by somebody that's not online, right? So that's what I know for now. I think, see if anybody has success in going through the door here. I think not. So yeah, I will pick it back up when I think I can get in with the video there. But if you listen this far, thanks for listening. Maybe we'll pick right back up with where I'm seated, like my table and stuff like that, and go from there. Hey everybody, we are back again. It looks like the holdup was they were not ready in the room earlier. They were in there still setting up, dealers getting ready and all that. Again, I don't know, there's probably 3,000 people playing today. I don't know if this room can hold that much or if they can't, but pretty cute little puppy there, an emotional support poker puppy. I have another one last night where we saw an actual little puppy as well. So lots of dogs running around, which of course is Vegas friendly. So this room has a little more action than we saw before. You can kind of see the whole room is filled up with people. So we'll see if we can get into the main event area and find our table. Again, we're looking for 629. It's about 3 tables away from the feature table. So I don't know if I'll take a look now. It's kind of like the cool kids, the pros and stuff don't show up at the beginning. This is like a bunch of cattle, you know, it's amateur hour. But you never know. We may see. There's a crew has special t-shirts made. That's pretty awesome to support their dad for 60th birthday and his World Series of Poker main event awesomeness. So we're walking into the main room. Actually, I suppose you're allowed to vlog like at the table, which is kind of weird. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So if you can see back right there, that's Doug Polk over there. And they also have a table set up with some fake money. You can go on and get your picture taken as if you're cashing. So again, like if you see anybody famous, Doug Polk, if you don't know him, he's part owner or all owner, I think he's part owner of the lodge in Round Rock, Texas. So pretty cool to see Doug here. If you've ever heard of 10-card poker, it's kind of insane. It's I watched him play it once and played with some friends. It is ridiculously insane, if you will. So I'd imagine he might be up for the feature table. We'll see what kind of celebs they have going early this morning. All right. So here like a stalker, like I'm following him, I'm actually just going to my table. So, all right. Yep, he's seated back over there, and we are closer to the main area. So, go ahead. You bet. All right, 622. We are at 629, which is right here. So I'm seat 2, which is this one right here. So we'll get set up here in a second or so. People ask about the backpack. These coolers are kind of awesome because they can keep stuff cold. So you have water in here and Pepsis and Red Bulls and things if you need to. You play for 12 hours today. So it starts at noon, ends around midnight. Which for you is in Central Time, that's 2 in the morning. So it's a good thing I got out here a day early. But I'm gonna put this backpack up here and then show it to you real quick. But yeah, you don't, well, maybe I will. If it works. So I'll probably tighten that up. Oops, excuse me. But anyhow, a little cooler, keeps your food cool, if you will, have some snacks in there. And what's weird is it's hard to get food around here because there's thousands of people trying to all eat. So you all go on break at one time, you got 20 minutes. It's like, that's not enough time. Here's one feature table over here. So again, I'm feet away from that. And then from my seat, all they're doing over the shoulder kind of look. Back over there, there's the big televised arena, if you will. There's 3 different tables back in there. So all of that is pretty cool. And then here's the rest of the room. And you have your big board for the main event. Kind of tells you where you are. 120 means it's 120 minutes. So 2 hours levels. We play 5 levels today. You get a 20-minute break and you get an hour for dinner. So that's about enough. I think it is 10 minutes still. So these things started a little bit late. So again, they'll carry us well past midnight. It's kind of cool in here, so I did bring a jacket to put on. Also says Ankerstar Wealth on it, right? Get some free advertising if that's possible. And you have all the winners up against the wall there. So if you do win, you're memorialized at the main event. I don't know what everybody's cheering for over there, but something exciting going on. Maybe that's Bob and the yellow shirt team going in. But yeah, they do a national anthem at the beginning. Against only U.S. If they did all the national anthems, there'd be like 50, right? For all the countries that are represented here today. So with that, it's all good for now, and hopefully there's Doyle up there again. You know, Doyle passed away this year, so there's probably gonna be a moment of silence for that before we get started. So all in all, off to the first round of the World Series of Poker main event, and we'll talk to you soon. Hey everybody, here's our main area. I think with all the press right there, that's probably where they're going to do the initial announcement. Usually have the governor speak and, welcome you to Nevada for the people who are traveling from around the world. I don't know, maybe they're having an event table there too. I don't really see anybody notable from the poker world standing around there, just a bunch of people in suits, so we shall see.
Welcome to the main event. How's everyone doing? All right, we need a little more energy than that because this is the day. Can we get a little more energy? How's everyone doing? All right, so I hope you are just half as excited as I am as we start what's going to become the biggest main event of all time. So it's been an amazing, record-breaking summer here at the WSOP. It seems almost every day we're breaking records, day after day except one, the big one. It stood for almost 20 years. So the question that's on everyone's mind is, will this year be the year that 8,774 participants enter the main event? Most people are taking the over. I'm taking the over. Maybe the only person who doesn't want to see this record broken is here today. He's my special guest who will do the honors with the most famous words in poker. Now, we all remember him playing and talking his way to a dominating victory in the biggest main event of them all. But I've got a little secret to tell you. He just so happens to be a great guy. He loves poker, will probably be happy to see the record break, particularly if he makes a deep run. Ladies and gentlemen, he's your 2006 world champion. Please welcome the one, the only, Mr. Jamie Gold, 2006 main event champion. Jamie, it's a thrill and honor to have you here with us today. I hope you have some nice words for these guys as we kick off and then you go and win another one.
Jack, thank you so much. Thank you for everything. I mean, I know I'm up here to do the shuffle up, but I really feel compelled to say that what has been put on this year and every year here at the World Series of Poker is such a Herculean feat that what you've done, Jack and Ty and Gregory and your entire team, Jason, everyone who's here, all the dealers, all the staff, what they put on for us, the players. We are so lucky to be able to play at the highest level in a $10,000 buy-in and break the record of the biggest main event of all time, which I was so lucky and fortunate to win. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm so proud to be here, and I really do feel lucky, fortunate, and I am so excited to get into this event in a few minutes. And if I am allowed to now say, everyone, I wish you all the good fortune that I've had, all the run good that I've had, all the luck that I've had, except when you're the last person at the final table against me, then I do not wish you so well. So everyone, shuffle up and deal.
Yeah, so 2 hours in at the end of the first break, kind of no big deal. This is kind of where everybody's just kind of checking out where they're at, getting a feel for their tables, sort of thing. Probably about 50% of my hands that I've won. Hey, there's a Superman outfit. Check that out. Pretty awesome. I was going to wear that, but I decided against it at the last minute. But yeah, so you start with 60,000 in chips, and the blinds are 100, 200 if you're familiar with poker. And you really don't duke it out. I'd say the biggest hand we saw was maybe 5,000 so far. But you can see the masses of people that are starting to pour out of there now. So nothing super eventful. We'll see you at the next break. Everybody just come back from the break from the first round there. I do play in sunglasses, so folks tend to ask, do you play in sunglasses or not when you play poker? Honestly, when I play cash, I do not wear sunglasses. When I look at people that do wear sunglasses, I look at them at their week, and I'm generally target them because they're trying to hide something, right? So that means they're self-conscious about it. But here, it's obvious that I'm like the non-amateur, so excuse me, I'm non-professional, I should say. I am the amateur, so therefore it makes sense for me to have glasses. But anyhow, they already know I'm an amateur, so I'm going to give them any insight into what I'm thinking. And as far as international tables, got a pretty interesting one. So have all of North America represented, Canada, Mexico, and then we have Peru, a guy from Peru, a guy from the Philippines, and Australia. So out of this, there's only 7 right now. There's 2 empty seats, but only one other American, some dude from Oklahoma. So anyhow, catch up with you once the next break hits. See ya. Hey guys, level 2 is complete. Again, started at 60K, sitting at about 80K right now. Some folks are out and about. I can't remember her name. She's one of the announcers though. And there is starting to be a featured table. They're going to take Jamie Gold, who won in 2006, if I have that right. I may not. But anyhow, he won back in the day. He was the main star there. He was 2 tables over. And they're taking his table up to the feature table. It's kind of a bummer because we have one guy at our table playing for charity and super loud, kind of guy. So I thought they might take him up to the featured table. But, can't compete with Jamie Gold. So that's 2 levels down for today. We got 3 more. Things are going pretty well. Haven't really taken a whole lot of danger yet in any of the different hands there. So just kind of trucking right along. Talk to you soon. All right, on dinner break. Was up over 100,000 for a while, so it went pretty well. But then got stung for a couple hands. So I think I've only really lost 2 hands at Showdown. They were both in the last half an hour. So anyhow, as you can see, folks are piling out as we all go off to dinner break. So some folks have busted out, not like a huge amount, but certainly if you got it in bad enough, you could already be on the rail. We lost one guy at our table on a really dumb hand that he played, but it's time for a little bit of a dinner, and we're back in 75 minutes, and we've got another 6 hours of poker tonight. So right now, Vegas time, it is 7 o'clock, and so back home in Texas time, it would already be 9 o'clock. So therefore, we're going to play till really late at night. So anyhow, the good news is we get tomorrow off and the next couple days off, and we come back on the 7th. So overall, things are going well. Hanging in there. Not really anything exciting, but did have one bluff. Had to buy my way out of a pot once, but wasn't too big of a deal. So I'll talk to you guys. Well, that sucked. So still in. And still above water. In other words, you start with 60K. Was up to 90K after the last level. It was a little bright. And then dropped down. I'm up 61K now. So basically lost about a third of my stack during that level, which is no fun. Played the first 2 hands coming back from the dinner break and lost both of them. That kind of sucked. And then I continued on. I bet I went probably 2 and 12 during that 2-hour period. So kind of card dead, kind of second best hand syndrome, but we are going to go ahead. We got one more level tonight, so 2 more hours. We'll finish up a little after midnight, so anyhow, hopefully things run a little bit better this evening. We'll talk to you soon. Woohoo! So off to day 2. Excuse me. It's a bright light. I walk by it every time. Off to day 2. 63,400 was the final total for the day. Again, you start at 60, so 12 hours worth of playing poker to add 3,400 chips to your stack. Anyhow, I probably wasn't playing my best, but for first time, in the main event. Can't complain off to day 2, which is the way it's organized. Again, there's 4-day ones, so that means I'm back on Friday, July 7th. So fortunately, I have tomorrow. Going to go up to Chicago and watch Alexa play volleyball. She had their team went 2-0 today, so pretty excited about that. Get to watch them in their quest for a national championship, and then the whole family and I are flying back on Friday. So pretty cool. We'll see you all at day 2. Thanks.